Good morning. So I have a few non-working days, or what I like to call crochet days, today and tomorrow. So I thought we could spend some time together, or do a little vlog and see what I get up to, because I feel like I have so many like crochet things to do. So I thought it'd be fun and I'll bring you along. I am going to start my day by going to the gym. I have some errands to run whilst I'm outside. I need to go get some like a little bit of groceries and stuff, and then I will bring you along for the rest of my day. Oh, I am very tired. Today was just a cardio day, so nothing too crazy. I just did 30 minutes on the Stairmaster and then a 5-kilometer cycle. But I'm very red-faced, so I need to kind of cool down. I'm gonna have a shower and then I have a few errands to run. And I did my errands, which was going to the Asian supermarket because I needed some stuff, and then I did get myself some treats. But I thought I'd show you what I got because I'm always intrigued what people get from Asian supermarkets. I say it's an Asian supermarkets because it's owned by East Asian people, but it's got like basically every kind of ethnicity. So it covers basically like any ethnicity pretty much, which I love because that means I can buy my own spices for my own food, but also I can make fun stuff too. So I'm just going to show you what I got. At the request of my partner, I got him some sesame mochi, no sorry, peanut mochi, and then a root beer. We both love root beer. The A&W one is our favourite one. It's very American, so I don't know why it's in there, but hey, I'm not complaining. But yeah, we both love root beer. And then the peanut mochi is delicious. It's basically kind of got like a peanut butter sort of mixture inside. Really, really good, but it does kind of like glue your mouth together, but like in a good way, you know? I obviously had to get myself a fun little drink also. This is called yogurt sparkling. This is basically like if Yakult and Milkis had a baby. It's got like the flavour of Yakult with like the sparkling bubbliness, creaminess of Milkis. And Milkis is like a creamy sparkling drink. So Milkis to me is like if lassi, as in like the yogurty Indian drink, and cream soda had a baby, and this is like if Yakult and Milkis had a baby, and it's delicious. I love it. It also has 10 billion probiotics, which I don't know if that's an accurate claim or not, but hey, I'm not really that bothered about my probiotic intake. I got some rice noodles because we have run out. I got the medium ones this time. I usually get the large ones, but I figured I'd get the medium ones because I really want to make like laksa, and I think the smaller ones are a little bit better for that. I think I got like 6 packs of these noodles. I bought these the other day on a whim because I was like, truffle flavored noodles. I've never seen these before. They are so delicious. If you love truffle flavored things, oh my god, these are so good. And I think they're only like 99p. So I think I got like 6 packs because my partner wanted some, I wanted some, and I was like, we can just keep these in stock, you know, they're good to have on hand for like a nice quick lunch. I got a singular avocado because I'm making tacos and I want to be able to make guac. These avocados look different to the ones that you get in like your average supermarket. I believe these are Brazilian, I want to say. If you see these kind of avocados, get it, because they taste different to the ones that you get in like regular supermarkets. And these ones are fucking delicious. They're so good. And I remember when I was growing up, I had these avocados and was like, I love avocados. Like I think I was maybe like 4 or 5 when I first ever had one. Loved it, was obsessed with it. My mum would like make avocado based things as like a treat for me because they were pretty pricey, and they are still quite pricey. So when I grew up and you know the avocado boom happened and there were so many avocados in the supermarkets, I would get them and be like, why do they not taste the same? And it's because they're a completely different like breed, you know, they're a completely different type. So I believe these are Brazilian, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but these are the best avocados you will ever eat, I promise you. I got myself some Fafa stars. If you are like South Asian or Indian, you've probably had these before. They're basically like these little kind of stars, and you fry them and then they puff up. You can get them in like different shapes and stuff. My mum would always have them in these like little tubes. You can get like little square shapes, and then you can get these little stars. And I haven't seen the stars in so long, and I haven't had these in a really long time either, so I picked up a bag of those as just like a little treat. And then I got a big bag of fried onions because me and my partner like using this for like a garnish and stuff on our dinners and like lunches. They're good on like instant noodles as well, just like a nice little textural garnish. And then I picked up some sesame oil because we had run out, and then I got myself some strawberry Hubba Bubba because I've been really enjoying bubblegum lately. So yeah, that's everything I got from my East Asian supermarket. So crochet wise, I'm currently working on a like Halloween patchwork sweater, and I'm actually doing a Crochet-A-Long on TikTok, so I'll link the first episode of the Crochet-A-Long in case you want to join in. It's pretty easy. I basically am doing like solid granny squares and then doing a tutorial on different appliques that we sew onto the granny squares, and then it's like assembling the sweater basically. So I'll show you a couple because they are very cute. So I've got this like little bat, which is adorable. I've got this little ghost with a jacked up face because I'm not very good at sewing on faces. There's this little witch's hat. I'm trying not to get all my ends tangled up, but there's this little witch's hat. I've done like a spiral square, this like creepy eyeball. So if you are interested in doing the Crochet-A-Long, head to the link and you can catch up on the episodes. They're all very easy, very beginner friendly, and obviously I do a whole tutorial on them. But yeah, this is kind of what I want to work on today in terms of actual crocheting, because I do need to film the tutorial on how to like assemble the squares, because I've basically, for me, I've laid out kind of how I want my front and my back panels to, you know, be composed, but I just need to actually film the assembly part of the tutorial so then I can post it on TikTok as the next episode. So hopefully I'll be able to get that done today, and then I want to start joining some of the squares as well, because I think I should have this done relatively soon, because all the squares for my front and my back panel are definitely done, and I think I've made all of the solid granny squares for my sleeves. I just need to do the appliques, and then I need to do some kind of like filler squares. So I'm probably going to be done in like the next couple of weeks. I reckon by the beginning of October actually I'll probably have this sweater finished. I have also just put a tester call out for this sweater. It's called the Zip It sweater. Super cute, and it is called the Zip It sweater because it has a 3/4 zip. Surprise, surprise, I love a pun. So I put a tester call out for this sweater, and I do want to go through some of the applications because I want to have all of the applications like or like my shortlist essentially finalized by tomorrow. So I want to kind of go through, because it takes quite a long time to like go through all of the applications, go to like their Instagram and their TikTok and like, you know, finalize the list. And I think I had like 40 applicants as of yesterday evening, and I haven't checked it this morning, so it could be more, who knows. But this sweater is super cute. It has this really beautiful stitch which kind of looks like a star stitch but isn't a star stitch. It's a lot easier and it doesn't eat as much yarn, so I love this stitch. I did like a little accent of colour with the cuffs and then the border at the bottom, and then obviously you have the 3/4 like zip at the front, and then you have like this really nice big flared collar. And the good thing is as well is that you can obviously wear it with the collar out, but you can also wear it as like a roll neck. So if you kind of like roll the neck over, yeah, it can be a roll neck as well. So I love this sweater. I made my first one towards the end of 2023, so like the end of last year, I think maybe like October, November time, and I made one in, again, variegated yarn, and it was beautiful, but I made like a oversized one, like it was quite long, it was quite baggy, and I wanted one that was a little bit more cropped and a little bit more fitted in that sense. So this is the colorway that I went with, and I love it. I think this stitch looks beautiful with variegated yarn, but it also looks really good with a single color. So yeah, the testicle is now out, and then hopefully by this weekend I will have my kind of testers finalized, and then I want to send the pattern to the finalized testers on like Saturday. It's a 10-week pattern test. So 10 weeks obviously seems like a long time. It is, but I want to make sure that everyone who, no matter what size they are, has enough time to do this sweater, because there is it's a short stitch basically, so it has the possibility to take a long time, you know, and I want to make sure that all sizes are able to get it done comfortably in that time. So yeah, so that's kind of what's on my agenda for today. I am very hungry, so I need to eat something. I think it's just approaching lunchtime, so I'm gonna have some of my truffle noodles because I have been thinking about them ever since I had the pack that I did a couple of days ago. So I'm gonna have some noodles, I'll probably watch a little bit of TV, and yeah, and then I'll get cracking. Okay, I had some lunch and I have just gone through all of my tester applications for the Zip It sweater. I had about 48 applicants, which is a considerable amount considering I only had the application only for like open for like a couple of days. And there's some incredibly talented people on here, so it is really hard for me to ever shortlist any of the applicants. But yeah, I've got my shortlist for now. I think so today's Thursday, and I think I'm going to close the application probably like maybe lunchtime-ish tomorrow, and I'll probably do like another TikTok and another Instagram post just to let people know that like I'm gonna be closing it soon, so if they did want to apply soon sort of thing. I have a short list of how many people? Of 14 people, and then I have a backup of 5 people. So I think with this time around, I'm trying to make sure that particularly in the plus sizes I have multiple of each tester, because I've had testers drop out, which is, you know, understandable, but then it leaves me with no plus size testers, which is something that I think is very important and something that I want to make sure that I have included in my variety of testers. So yeah, so it's gone really well. There's, like I said, there's some really talented people on here. It's quite hard to kind of decide because I think I've done the tester call a little bit different this time. There's a really good Instagram page called the Size Inclusive Collective, and they kind of advocate for obviously size inclusivity in the fibre arts world, whether it's like crochet or knit. So definitely check out their Instagram because they have a lot of valuable resources on there. They have like a whole directory of plus size crocheters and knitters and fibre artists and stuff, which I think is really cool. But they recently did a kind of series of posts talking about pattern testing and about like what is expected from a pattern tester, why pattern testers drop out, why pattern testers maybe ghost people, that sort of thing. And those things have happened to me. So I found the kind of research that this person had done really invaluable, and then I kind of spent some time going through the comments from other pattern testers and what kind of prevents them from applying in the first place, what, you know, if anything bad happens during the pattern test, and they, you know, whether they feel comfortable talking to the designer and telling them that they can't continue with the pattern test, or if they ended up ghosting, like what was the reason that they ended up ghosting, that sort of thing. So I found it really interesting from a kind of like designer's aspect. I really don't like calling myself a designer because I don't consider myself a pattern designer, but technically I'm designing patterns, so technically I'm a pattern designer. Anyway, I found that information really invaluable, so I've kind of changed how I've done my application and like the deliverables this time. Like I'm not wanting or asking people to post on their socials or to like post a TikTok or a reel or any of the whips or like the kind of whip progress, that sort of thing, because the information that I kind of gathered from the research that the Size Inclusive Collective had done, I was kind of like, yeah, you're right. Like the testers aren't our marketers, you know, they're not our marketing team. The purpose of a pattern tester is for them to read the pattern, make the thing, and then provide feedback and photos, you know. So I kind of have really scaled back the deliverables in that sense. So I think I've gotten a lot more applicants than normal in a relatively short space of time. Also as well, going to do, so any of the applicants, I'm going to send them who I don't select in the end, I'm going to send them a discount code for the pattern once it's released, because it's one of those things, obviously if you've applied to test the pattern, you're most likely interested in the pattern because you like it. So when I release it, here's thank you for applying for a pattern test, here's a discount code, you know. So I thought that was a really good suggestion from somebody in like the comments of the Size Inclusive Collectors post. So I stole that idea because I thought it was a really good idea. It's one of those things as well, it's quite difficult because where I have scaled back my deliverables in that sense, obviously I still ask for people's socials, and I do look at people's socials, you know, I'm typing in everyone's like Instagram handles or their TikTok handles or whatever. And for me, the reason why I look at people's socials is firstly to see their crochet stuff, you know. And the thing is that I'm like, you don't have to have a crochet account. I just need to be able to see your profile, you know, because sometimes, yeah, I do want to see what you can crochet, you know, where your skill level is at, but with this pattern in particular, it is beginner friendly, so that side of things I'm not as bothered by. But for me, and something that is really important, is that I just want to make sure like our values align, you know. Like I want to just be able to go on your profile and be like, okay, so you're not a TERF, you know, you're not fat phobic, you're not racist, you're not like, you know, voting for Trump or something like that. So for me, that is extremely important, and those are the kind of things that I'm like preing on people's profiles basically. So like if you've got like a watermelon emoji in your profile, I'm like, great, ally, you know. So those are the things that I am looking for. It's obviously a little bit more difficult when people have private profiles, which, you know, I understand. My personal Instagram is private, but yeah, it has its challenges at the same time, but it is the only way that I can kind of see a vast amount of people's, you know, crochet ability and their values. I'd like to think anyway. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I did have some lunch. I had my truffle noodles. They were as delicious as I remember like 3 days ago, but they're really good. I'm like worried that I'm going to get a bit obsessed with them, you know, like, you know, when you have a food, or you find a new food, and then you get worried that you're gonna hyperfixate on it so much and that you can't get it regularly. That's my problem, because my Asian supermarket is awesome, but they also kind of have a quick turnaround on their products, and sometimes I'll fall in love with something and then I won't see it again for like 6 months, you know. So that's my concern. I'm very concerned about these noodles, okay. But now I am going to just film the quick tutorial on like how to join the little squares for my Halloween patchwork like sweater crochet along. So I need to film a little tutorial. I'm just going to be joining them with like the mattress stitch, because obviously where most people are probably going to be doing like different colors, I think the mattress stitch or the invisible stitch or whatever people want to call it is probably the best way forward. And then I did mention on my tutorial for the solid granny square for people to cut off like a really long tail, so they're able to use this to sew their squares together. So I'm gonna go film that tutorial now, and then I'm gonna actually connect my own squares. Okay, I just finished watching a movie, and this is how far I've gotten into like joining my squares. These are so cute. So here's like the creepy eyeball, we have the witch's hat, this cute spiral, this little cat on the moon, which I think is one of my favorite squares. I have a pumpkin, a cauldron, which again is one of my favorites, and then this spider in the middle. I do think I feel like with the spirals something's gone wrong over here, because it's kind of bunching up and the middle spider square is a bit like askew, you know. So I think something has gone amiss where I was kind of joining, because this middle one is fine, but it was this one in the kind of corner. I think maybe I may have joined it incorrectly somehow, I'm not really sure. So I'm gonna have to like undo what I've just done and then undo this square as well, and I think maybe the cauldron as well, I'm not sure. Regardless, I'll figure it out. But it's looking cute, you know. So this is gonna be the front piece, and I think it's actually gonna be so adorable. So yeah, front piece probably about halfway through, I reckon. But I think this sweater is going to turn out so cute. I think I'm going to I may watch another film, or I've actually just started watching The Great North, which is like an animated series. I think it's by the same animators as Bob's Burgers, because the animation looks really similar, and it's kind of similar vibe to Bob's Burgers. And I've never really watched it, I don't know why, but my bestie was like, yeah, it's really good. So I'm listening to her and I'm actually watching it, and it is actually really good. I am enjoying it. It's just like really, it's perfect kind of crochet background kind of show. But yeah, so I'm gonna just continue doing this. and see how I get on. This looks so good. Oh my gosh, I am loving how it looks so far. Oh, this is so fun. So I'm basically nearly done. I think I've got like 4 squares to join. But I am going to take a little break. It's about 4:30, so I'm going to take a little break, and then I need to put some laundry out, and I might make a start on dinner because I'm making chili and I like to slow cook it or cook it for a bit longer so it kind of, you know, tastes a bit nicer. But yeah, so I'm gonna have a little break, do that, and then I will come back to this. So I'm hoping by the end of the day I will get at least the front panel all done, and because I filmed the tutorial already, I just need to edit that and then post it on TikTok, and then that's good to go. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm gonna spend the rest of my day. I have been watching The Great North. It's just a really fun show. I genuinely think it's one of those like perfect background crochet shows, you know, like very similar vibe to Bob's Burgers. I love an animated family who actually love each other. Like, I think that's one of my favorite things about Bob's Burgers. Can you tell that I have some familial issues? Because it's just really cute and wholesome, very heartwarming but funny, and like a bit weird and a bit kooky, but like in the best way. So yeah, so that's kind of how I'm going to spend the rest of my day. I think my partner is on his way back home from work, so I'll probably just hang out with him for the evening and we'll have dinner together, catch up on our days as if we've not been messaging each other all day. But we usually do like a date day we do 2 date days a month, and we have an indoor one and an outdoor one, and our outdoor one is this Saturday, and we are going to Leica Studios, like have an exhibition. So Leica Studios are the animation studio who did Coraline and Paranorman and a couple of other like stop motion animation films, and they have a free exhibition. I think we got tickets a little while back and we're going this weekend, and then I think we're going to go for lunch or dinner somewhere in London as well, which will be quite nice. So I think we are going to watch Paranorman tonight, because we watched Coraline the other day and my partner has never seen Paranorman, and I'm like, hello, you need to watch Paranorman, because I love stop motion animation. It's one of my favorite art forms. I think it's just such an incredible art form to watch. I think the people who do stop motion animation are amazing, and I have the utmost respect and admiration for them. Fun fact, when I was doing film studies in A-levels when I was like 17, I loved stop motion animation so much that for one of my projects I made my own stop motion animation like short film, basically using gummy bears. Which is, I'm not sure if this is like a very cringy thing for me to admit, but yeah, it was made of gummy bears and it was actually very good. And the fun thing was is that all of us got to showcase our short films at the local picture house, which was the Cambridge Picture House, which was really fun and really cute, and everyone loved mine. Mine got a lot of laughs, I will admit. I was very impressed actually with the audience reaction from my short film. But anyway, I digress again. I feel like you can tell when my partner isn't at home because I yap a lot more, because I'm like, I haven't spoken out loud to anyone but my rabbit and like maybe the people at the gym, you know. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I've already explained it a million times. I'm gonna go do it. I may be back, but I may just see you tomorrow. Good morning, it is a new day. I did all of the things yesterday evening that I said I was going to do. I put my laundry out, I made dinner, my partner came home and we just caught up and hung out. We didn't end up watching a film, but we did watch a lot of The Walking Dead. And then we just did some chores and then went to bed. Pretty early actually for us. I think it was like 10:30 by the time we were actually in bed. So yeah, so today is a new day. I'm going to the gym again. I need to get my eyebrows threaded first, then I'm heading to the gym, and then I need to pop to Asda to grab us some dinner, because today is cleaning day, the worst day of the week. We usually do it on a Friday after work if we don't have any plans, because we won't clean otherwise. So nothing crazy, we're just like hoovering and mopping, and like my partner will clean out our rabbit's cage, I'll clean the bathroom. Boring, boring, boring. On those days we tend to like get a quick dinner, so neither of us have to cook. So I'll pick up something for us for dinner whilst I'm out and about, and then when I come home I want to finalize excuse me, I want want to finalize the pattern testers, see if I've got any more applications for the Zip It sweater, and then I'll kind of refine the list a little bit more. I'll probably close off the application around like lunchtime, and then I will email everybody that I've chosen, and then I can work on just refining part 1 of the pattern, because I have written most of part 1. I just want to tweak it, make sure, you know, read it over, proofread it sort of thing, make sure it all makes sense, and then it will be ready to send to the testers hopefully tomorrow. So that's the agenda, and I'm gonna get cracking with my day. Okay, I am done. It was leg day today, so lots of heavy weights. I am gonna shower and I need to wash my hair because it's very, very greasy, and I did get my eyebrows done. I had to wait for so long, it was so busy in there, but it's kind of like, you know, put me back a little bit later than I would like to in my day, but it's fine. So I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna go to Asda, and then I will head home. Did I get caught in the rain and have to literally towel dry myself and get out of my clothes? Yes I did. I am now in my pajamas, okay, because my clothes that I was gonna wear today are soaking wet. So I'm not gonna, it's one of those days, okay? I finished up at the gym, I showered, I went to Asda, I got our dinner, I walked home in the rain, and now I'm dry again. So I am going to now close off the pattern tester call for the Zip It sweater. I am gonna just refine and finalize the first part of the pattern, and then email the testers, and then hopefully get some responses today and tomorrow, and then tomorrow I can email the actual first half of the pattern to people. I also want to work on my Halloween sweater as well. Also, I am working on a crochet bag, so I'm going to be posting a whole kind of vlog about it, but I'm basically going through my crochet graveyard, my, you know, abandoned projects or abandoned fully finished garments that I've never worn or don't wear or don't fit anymore, blah blah blah, and I'm trying to repurpose the yarn or do something with those pieces. So I am crocheting a bag. So I want to work on my bag a little bit. I want to work on the Halloween sweater, because the thing with the Halloween sweater is that I'm obviously joining the squares, so I'm not actually like crocheting, I'm just sewing the squares together, which in my opinion is like the most boring part of any patchwork garment, is the sewing of the squares together, you know. Although it does look really fun and really cool, it's just boring, okay? I probably should eat something. I actually don't know what the time is, but I just had a little nibble of some of the food that I brought home, so I should probably eat something properly, and then yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's my agenda, and yes, I'm going to be staying in my pajamas for the rest of the day, okay? I did all of my things. So I contacted all of the pattern testers who I've selected for the Zip It sweater. I finalized, kind of edited, proofread the first part of the Zip It sweater pattern. I've had, I think, 2 responses so far, I think maybe 3 responses so far from the testers that I've emailed to say that they're good to go. Hopefully the rest will get back to me kind of throughout the day, maybe tomorrow morning, because I think I'm working with a couple of different time zones. I hopefully will hear back from everybody by tomorrow, and then I can send them the first half of the pattern. I do need to eat some lunch, but I thought I'd show you my little bag that I'm working on. So this used to be a sweater, which you'll see in the whole kind of vlog that I'm doing, and I frogged it and I've started making a bag, and I am using a 10mm hook, and this is 2 sizes smaller than the hook size that I use for the sweater. And this, like, people who work with t-shirt yarn regularly or really big chunky bulky yarn, I don't know how they do it, because I have maybe done 3 rows. I've done the base and then 3 rows, and this hurts my hands so much. It also doesn't help that I'm using one of the like really terribly non-ergonomic metal hooks, but this is uncomfortable to crochet. Like, I'm really moving my arms and really kind of digging in there. It's one of those things where obviously I'm using a smaller crochet hook, and I could use a larger hook, but I want the stitches to be tight because it's a bag, and I don't want there to be kind of any gaps in the stitches. So I think I'm only really gonna maybe do like 1 or 2 rows of this like a day, because if I think if I do any more, I'm gonna actually injure myself. But I think it's gonna look cute. That's kind of what the inside looks like. I think the stitches are really fun. and yeah, I'm excited to get this done. But for now, I am going to work on my Halloween patchwork sweater. I have some of the squares to still assemble for the front panel, and then I'm hoping to get a start on the back panel like assembly relatively soon. It's just so boring at like sewing the squares together. It's like not the fun part of the sweater, you know. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna go do, and hopefully I'll have a little update on the front panel of my sweater relatively soon. The back panel of my sweater is officially finished and it looks so good. So I had a little bit of a break, I had some lunch, and then I watched some TV. I've been watching well, I literally just started watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I think it's called. So much drama already, and I'm only like an episode in, but I love these kind of reality shows and I'm enjoying it so far. It's just some good background trash TV. Here's a little look at the front panel, all finished. It looks so good. So we have like a little spooky eyeball, a witch's hat, a spiral, a pumpkin, this little cat on a moon, there's a cauldron, this spider, which I think is one of my favorites, this little mushroom, we've got a bat, this like autumnal leaf, these little stars, a skull, and then a ghost. And I've used like basically all of my scrap yarn, so I feel like it's going to be like a really good stash buster project. Like I mentioned, if you want to join in, I will put the link to episode 1 of the Crochet-A-Long in the description so you can start from the beginning. But it's a really kind of quick and relatively easy project to put together. And as well, if you know kind of garment construction, you don't have to make a sweater. You can make a cardigan. I've had somebody already do like a sleeveless cardigan, like a long kind of robe almost with a belt, which looks really cool. So you can do whatever you like. You can make a blanket if you wanted to, but these are just super fun. I'm really loving how it's looking. So now I'm gonna make a start on the back panel. I've got all of the squares for the back panel, so it's just some more assembling, which is just very boring to me, but I've put some trash TV on. I'm just gonna, you know, get cracking on the assembly part, and then I'll move on to the sleeves. But I probably won't finish the back panel by the end of the day. I think it's like 10 to 5 or 10 to 4 now, so I'll probably make a little bit of a start, and then I'm going to do my chores because it's cleaning day, the most boring day of the week, and then I will have dinner with my partner, and then we'll probably hang out. He's been quite busy with work today, so I haven't really been able to chat to him as much as I would like, but that's okay. And then hopefully maybe we'll watch like a movie or watch some TV together. I really want to watch Paranorman before we go to the Leica exhibition thing tomorrow, so I'm going to try and convince him to watch Paranorman with me. That's where I'm at. I did not do either of the things that I said I was going to do. But it's fine because I started a new project, and if you know me, it's very unlike me to have multiple projects on the go. I very rarely have more than one whip unless it's like I'm crocheting something for somebody else. But the fact that I'm doing the bag, I'm doing my sweater, and I've now just started an additional project is not like me at all. So maybe there's something else going on that I need to address, who knows. But basically I started a new project. So I've been seeing a bunch of tops, specifically mainly from Damson Madder. They're a brand that I have never heard of in my life. I am not a cool person when it comes to like fashion stuff. I just keep seeing this name mentioned on social media, and then they kind of pop up on my feed. But they have these really fun tops, and I really like them. I think they're really fun. The only thing is I think the colorways are really boring. I'm not typically like a neutrals person, and for some reason all the ones I've also seen are all navy, and I used to have a navy school uniform, so I don't wear navy out of like sheer principle and the fact that I hate navy. In my mind I'm like, navy is ugly because it was my school uniform color, you know. So anyway, a little bit of a tangent, but I basically made a start on like the ribbing section for a top inspired by like the kind of scrunchy Damson Madder style tops. It's a really beautiful what is this? I think it's a merino superwash wool, and I got this from a charity shop. This is the label. So that's the label. Yeah, it's virgin wool apparently, but I got this from a charity shop a little while ago, probably about like a good year or so ago, and it came in like a bag. I think there was like maybe 8 or 9 50-gram skeins, and it was like £5. So I was like, you're coming home with me. And then they had this color, which like I said, I'm not really a big neutrals person, and I do think this has the potential to wash me out a bit, but I'm trusting the process. I think it could look nice, but I got this color, and then I also got like a dark gray. And if you've been following my journey, I guess, on TikTok, I basically made like a ribbed t-shirt with the dark gray color, and because it says super wash on the label and then also on the washing instructions, let me show you. The washing instructions there says 30 degrees wash, and I even did it on like a cool wool cycle. The other top that I made shrunk in the wash, and I was devastated because it fit me so well. You know when you make something, you're like, damn, I've got this fit down so well. That's basically what that t-shirt was, and it's just now lost forever, which I'm very upset about. And obviously I bought it from a charity shop, so it's not like I can kind of like contact the yarn manufacturer, you know what I mean? So anyway, I've lost that top, but it lives in my dreams, and I will not be putting this in the washing machine because I have learnt my lesson. But here is where I'm at. It's a really fine yarn. It's taking like a 3mm hook, so this took me maybe like 40 minutes, an hour, quite a while. More time than I would like. So yeah, I just got a bit bored with the joining of the squares, you know, because it's not actually crocheting, it's just the boring part. So I think I did like connected like 2, and then I just got distracted and went on my phone, and I was like, okay, I'm not into this. And then I was like, I don't want to do the bag because I don't want to be in pain. So then I was like, well, I've been thinking about this top. As soon as I saw that top, I was like, I can crochet my own, and I have the perfect yarn for it, and I have not stopped thinking about this top. So I started the top basically. But yeah, this is kind of the end of my day, I guess. It's like 6:30. We have done all of our cleaning, and my partner has just put on our pizza for dinner, and we are going to watch Paranorman, which is great news. I didn't even have to convince him. I was just like, do you want to watch Paranorman? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, great. So we're going to watch Paranorman, and we're probably just going to chill for the rest of the night and then go to sleep. And then we have our date day tomorrow at the Leica Studios like exhibition thing at the BFI South Bank, which I'm really excited for because I've not been to South Bank or the BFI South Bank in so long. I think the last time I went was when I was at uni, which was a really long time ago. Like if you didn't know, I did film production and cinematography at uni, so I'm very much into my films. There's not really any way to say that you're into films without sounding like a loser. Like what words do we have? Cinephile. That sounds like another word that I don't want to be referred as. We have film buff, film geek, film nerd. I don't like any of those terms. They're not fun terms. I don't want to describe myself as those things. I just say I'm very into films. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, anyway, this is the end of the vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment. You can connect with me via like TikTok and Instagram. My socials are down below. And if you want to follow the Crochet-A-Long, I will post the first episode, like the direct link to the first episode in the description. And yeah, thanks so much for hanging out.